week for the Boys and Girls Club Summer Camp to go. Today for Math Summer Brain Game, we're going to do a little bit something different. We're going to make a timeline, so it's kind of history and math all in one. But we're just going to write our name at the top, so I'm going to write Mr. Chris. And then there is 5 blocks here with enough to write a little paragraph below each. And you're going to choose any years you want to, any 5 years between 1920 and 2000. And what you're going to do is you're going to write the years above the box, so like this. I chose 1920, 1940, 1950, 70, and 80. So try to choose years that aren't just like close to us. Like try not to choose like 2000, 2002, 2003. Try to go back as far as you want to and can. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to look up on the internet if you have internet, or you can ask your parents to help you and find some event that took place in those years. So find an event that took place in the 20s, 40s, 50s, 70s, and 80s. And it doesn't have to be, like I wrote 1920, it didn't have to take place in 1920. It could take place anytime during the 20s decade. So what we're going to do, I already looked some up, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And you're going to write a paragraph or a sentence about what you looked up, and then try to draw a little picture in the box. So 1920, I chose on August 18th, 1920, the Tennessee House of Representatives voted in favor for the women's right to vote, 50-10-49. So the women's right to vote is what I'm going to put. So I'm going to put August 18th, 1920, women received right to vote. And then you can draw a little picture of a woman up here voting at a poll if you're that artistic. But I'm just going to draw our present day I voted sticker, like you guys see, however you want to make it look. So there's a little I voted sticker in the box. And I wrote August 18th, 1920, women received right to vote. So our next video, we're going to do 1940. Our next topic. We're going to do 1940. And in the 1940s, that decade is when World War II was going on across the globe. And so what you're going to do, it says most of World War II took place in the first half of the decade of the 1940s. So what we're going to do is just put World War II, consume decade. So that just means that it took place most of the decade. And you can draw some little army soldiers in the box or whatever you want to, but I'm just going to draw a cool little World War II thing here. I'm not really artistic, like you guys might be. I'm just going to draw a little like that, because I'm not artistic like you guys are. So went back and added a little army soldier head up here at the top of my World War II thing. So now we're on to the 1950s. And I chose the year 1954 because this is a pretty cool court case that you guys will get to learn about at some point in school. You may have already learned about it if you're older. But in 1954, the Brown versus the Board of Education decision was handed down by the Supreme Court, saying that separate but equal school systems are unconstitutional. An era of desegregation of schools is instituted. So you may or may not know what all that means, but if you're interested, you can look that up. But later on in school, I think probably 4th or 5th grade, you're introduced to the Brown versus the Board of Education. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to write Brown versus the Board of Education. Brown versus Board of Education. And that was in 1954. Separate but equal is unconstitutional. And then for the picture, I'm just going to draw a little scroll and write Brown versus the Board of Education on it, because I can't really draw a courtroom. If you guys can draw a big courtroom and you want it to look like the Supreme Court or something, go for it. But I can even draw a scroll. So this looks like a taco. There's your taco. Sorry guys, there's your taco. It's a scroll. Okay, we're on to 1970s. So let's see. For 1970, I chose something a little bit unhistorical, but it's pop culture and politics collided on December 21st, 1970, when the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, met President Nixon in the White House. So if you're artistic, you can draw President Nixon and Elvis Presley in this box. But I'm going to draw two little stick figures shaking hands. Alright, I finished my drawing of President Nixon and Elvis Presley. They kind of look like they're boxing in the White House, but that's alright. You can draw way better than that. So, but I wrote King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley met President Nixon in the White House. And remember, that was when rock and roll met politics. So 1920 or 1970. And now we've got 1980. So for 1980, we have that the first space shuttle lifts off in 1981. So what we're going to put is first space shuttle lifts off in 1981. So I cannot draw a picture of a space shuttle. I'm not going to attempt it. But I'm going to try to draw the bottom of it with flames shooting out of it. That's not going to happen either. But it'll be alright. It's going to look like a rocket ship blasting into space, but it's fine. There. It's a rocket ship blasting into space, but it's supposed to be a space shuttle. So, but I hope you guys enjoy this timeline worksheet. And like I said, you guys, you can pick any years you want to between 1920 and 1990 or 2000. Try to pick the years further away and learn a little bit of history while you're at it. You can use the internet. You can use your parents. If they were born in the 70s or 80s, they would know what happened in the 70s, 80s, 90s. So you can use those years. But the last thing we're going to do is going to put a timeline title on it, and I'm going to wait till the end because I didn't know you don't know what you're going to put on here. So I'm just going to put decade or decades because it's going to represent from 1920 to 1980 in history. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you have fun with it, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.